Hi, my name is Catherine Dangle, and I am part of Science and Global Change Scholars Program. And in this video, I will be explaining my Scholars Practicum, the Lakeland STARS Tutoring Program. So what exactly is STARS? Well, it's an after-school tutoring program covering grades 1st through 6th, and at it, students from UMD are paired with one student from Paint Branch Elementary School in College Park, Maryland. So these past 2 semesters, it took place virtually on Zoom. It actually usually takes place in person, but with the COVID pandemic, it was simply easier to make it virtual. And it happened 4:30 through 6 p.m. every Wednesday, fall 2021 to spring 2022. And every Wednesday, our schedule was 4:30 to 5:30, individual tutoring time, where we would guide the students through their homework and help them with whatever questions they had. I predominantly focused on math-related topics because that's just what my tutee needed help in most. And then 5:30 through 6 p.m., we would have our free time where we would either play academic cahoots with the children, or we would sometimes play Pictionary or Among Us, whatever they wanted to do. It was a stress reliever, a decompression time for the students, and allowed us to really bond with them. A little reflection on the Wednesday sessions. It provided me with memorable and essential experiences where I was able to build strong connections with my tutee over both semesters. I created a sense of trust and comfortability with her, and that was able to really fuel her academic growth. The sessions were the highlight of my week. I was always looking forward to it every Wednesday and enjoyed every moment that I spent with my tutee because she was super brilliant. I learned several teaching strategies, especially in the subject of mathematics, because that's what she needed help with most, like I said before. And I'm simply really proud of how much my tutee grew academically, and I saw that I was making a difference, and that was really awesome to see. So next I'll be talking about my capstone presentation, The Weather and You, and I was pushed to lead a 30-minute presentation and interactive activity about the topic that I wanted, the weather. So the weather is really broad, right? So I talked about the definition and influences of weather, clouds, precipitation, winds, severe weather systems, thunderstorms, hurricanes, etc. I talked about a lot. I included several helpful videos and images. I found a specific one about the water cycle that I really enjoyed and gave a visual representation about how precipitation develops. I included an interactive activity, and it was a Kahoot to reinforce the major presentation concepts. And throughout the presentation, I asked questions to prompt student connections with weather material. Lastly, here's a reflection on my capstone presentation. It enabled me to practice my abilities to design a lesson plan to get through to students. And this was helpful for the future because it's what I'll be doing every day. So it was really nice to practice. However, I did learn what not to mention. I've regretted bringing up hurricanes because that then prompted students to talk about how detrimental hurricanes can be to infrastructure and stuff like that, and how harmful they can be to just people. And I felt like that wasn't something that I should be talking about. I feel like that's a parent discussion. So I just wish I didn't even talk about that, but now I know for the future. And I did learn about the success of the presentation because I asked one last question, trying to see if they learned anything, and everyone said they learned something, including the tutors. So it was a pretty successful presentation. Overall, I enjoyed the whole STARS experience and feel like I really grew as a person, and it prepared me for my future and prepared me for becoming an educator and made me even more excited to become an educator. So I'd like to thank Dr. Holtz, Dr. Merck, and Akila for really guiding me through it and reassuring me that I made the right decision in switching to elementary education.